Or maybe you don't remember because it's been a while and you slept since. So draw this. So we have factories. And then cars. Okay, both of these are going to be combustion. In other words, the burning of fossil fuels. Plus, got a tree here and a tree here. And this is our forest fires. Okay, we had a really big forest fire. Where? Well, there was one in Australia last year. What was California? Okay, both of these are going to release carbon into the atmosphere, right? So both of these are going to release carbon into the atmosphere. So, actually, all three of these. So, release CO2 into atmosphere, right? We're good with that? That makes sense? But here's what I also need you to understand. Draw yourself an ocean. Here's what I need for you to understand. These are also going to do something else. That excess CO2 is going to get absorbed by the ocean. So the extra CO2 also gets absorbed by ocean. Not only does it go into the atmosphere, some of it actually goes into the ocean. Okay? Now I'm going to give you a chemical equation. I know last year we took chemistry or we took IPC, so we kind of understand what that means. So I have carbon dioxide plus water in the ocean, right? That's going to yield carbonic acid, which is an acid, right? Now, there are some secondary equations that come after that, but I just need you to understand this concept. Okay, so here's my ocean floor. And yeah, these are like the best corals. There's some coral. And then here's my seashell. Okay, got some seashells and some corals. Okay, this carbonic acid is going to react with the calcium carbonate in these seashells and these corals, and what's going to happen is that they're going to slowly begin to dissolve. So those shells either dissolve or they just don't form. Does that sound familiar from that documentary you watched way back when? Remember the guy, he had an oyster, I don't want to say farm, but he was trying to grow oysters for selling. and he was saying that it was hard to get their shells to grow because the ocean water was so acidic. That's why. So the increased combustion, the increased carbon in the atmosphere, CO2 in the atmosphere will dissolve in the ocean, and when it reacts with water, it'll form carbonic acid, and that carbonic acid will react with the calcium in the calcium carbonate here. And what will happen is that these shells will either not form or dissolve altogether. Now, bear in mind, coral is an animal. I know you don't think it is, but it is. It's an animal, and coral lives in kind of this symbiotic relationship with algae, so the algae and the coral need each other. As the limestone in the coral begins to get eaten away by this acid, then the algae have a hard time finding a place to live, and so the whole system breaks down. Okay, make sure you turn in your notes. What I want to do is I want you guys to go ahead and get your data today, and then we can write our conclusion next class. But turn in your notes, do that first. Yeah.